Oh yeah, Paul the Pipe Guy again here. Yeah, I was thinking about some things, and I just, I just had to do this video. What is a successful business? Okay, and I was thinking about that as I'm working on these pipes. A successful business is where you have a passion. You do a service for someone else that shares that same passion. So you provide a service for them and you're passionate in doing it. In other words, I'm sitting here on a Saturday night when I could be out, and I'm got my Dremel tool, here, and I'm, grinding pipes down, and finishing them up. And so that's where the passion comes in. And then you have to have a demand for, and that demand, it's twofold. That demand either already exists or you create it. And I know this for a fact because, my family started a concrete curbing business. Okay, so, and you may say, Paul, what's that? Okay, well, so, around the outside of your landscaping, you have that black plastic edging and it goes around and it heaves up and does this and does that and blah, blah, blah. And it's not very attractive. You hit it with a weed whacker, it chops it up. So, I saw this idea and my father and I prayed about it and we jumped on it after we knew it was the right thing to do. And there wasn't a market, there wasn't a demand here for that product. So what we would do is we would come to your house, measure out all the garden areas, landscaping areas that you wanted to have us rip up that raggedy, ratty, black plastic edging that separated the lawn from the flower beds and whatever you're landscaping. And then we would put in a beautiful 6-inch wide angle shaped decorative curb made out of concrete. And it was beautiful. And no one had seen it here. We had to create our own market. We had to create our own demand for people to demand that. And we did. And we were very successful at it. But that business is in the past, and, that's a young man's business. So, there's already a demand for great pipes. I have the passion to make great pipes, and I'm building a customer base that knows about me and trusts me to make a great pipe for them. In fact, if you don't like any of my pipes, you send them back. I'll send you back the shipping cost to send my pipe back if you don't like it. So it takes a passion of yours and a demand for what your passion is and what you're willing to supply to the consumer. That's where birth starts. Okay. The next thing is that you have to exceed that customer's expectations. You just have to. You have to over exceed their expectations. And then you have a customer for life. And they tell all their friends about it. You get one guy that has a bad experience, and that's not good. So, how is success measured in business? Right now, I'm willing to guarantee that everyone's thinking it's all about the money. It's all about the profit. No, that's not true. It's not all about the money. A successful business is where you get extreme pleasure out of doing business, and those you do business with get extreme pleasure out of doing business with you. The money and the profit comes later. You have to work for it. You have to work. You have to work to build those customer relations. And you take care of them. You be fair with them. You be honest with them. You have integrity. You don't send something out that you wouldn't want to buy yourself. All right? So you've created demand. You got the customer that wants what you have. All right? You've created trust. The money part isn't there yet. There's a lot of extremely successful millionaires and billionaires that worked for free for a long time before all of a sudden they saw their first profit. Meaning, okay, you can make money on a product, but you reinvest it in your process and making it better and better and better. When all of a sudden you start to see a profit, that's when you can take your wife out to dinner. Okay, that's a paycheck you earned. All right. I'll give you a perfect example. Everyone has heard of Xerox, right? They were the first company to make a copy machine where you could take a document like this, put it in the machine, press a button, and it would make a duplicate copy of that, just like that. Okay? Well, my father started out with Xerox back in the early 60s. Back then it was called Haloid. And Joe Wilson was the owner of that. And Joe Wilson built this business on a belief that his engineering department and so forth, and his workers and his production facilities could actually invent this, make it happen, and then sell it. Well, for the first year, my father said, a lot of the engineering department, they were the driving force, because you have to engineer a product that someone wants. And then you have to create a need for it. So Joe didn't have money for payroll. Joe Wilson, the owner of Xerox, when they first started. And sometimes he would pay his employees in groceries. Here's 3 bags of groceries. All right. When we turn a profit, you'll get paid. If you believe in what we're doing here, you'll stick by me. If not, then I completely understand if you go find another job. And jobs were plentiful then. But the people that originated with Joe Wilson, who started Xerox, when it was Haloid, he paid them in stock too. And those people became multi-millionaires because they had a belief and so forth, and a vision. And they believed in Joe Wilson as a leader and the product. So, once you've done all of that stuff and gone through all those steps, you can work a year, 2 years, all right? Work in your regular job. You find a niche, you find this or that, or a passion, something that you believe in, and you believe you could market it to customers. You believe you can create a need. So go for it. Don't quit your day job, all right? You still got a car payment and a mortgage payment and, whatever your expenses are. So, and then as you work along, you become successful. Success, in my opinion, is making a great product, marketing it to great people who buy your product and love it. That's a successful business. And then after that, it grows. And then the money comes. The money part is the last part of a successful business. When I used to be in the car business and so forth, I was in the auto industry for 27 years. Some of it in the sales department, and most of it, though, in the finance department. And I always taught my guys, look, don't worry about your paycheck, all right? Take care of the customer, all right? People look at car salespeople as like bad people. That's not always true. In most cases, it's not, all right? What you do when the customer comes in, when you're in the car business and you're selling cars, we'll be right back in a nanosecond. Yeah, so in the car business, Mr. and Mrs. Customer walk in the front door with their 2 kids. The first thing that you want to do is you pre-qualify them. This really has nothing to do with pipe making, all right? But it does have to do with the way you treat people. So you pre-qualify them. It's like, okay, is this going to be your primary vehicle? Is it going to be your secondary vehicle? What's your needs? I mean, you got 2 kids here. Do you have any other children or anything how many passengers are you going to have normally? You looking to buy a new car or a pre-enjoyed one, So you pre-qualify them. You bring them into your office and you sit them down. And you just kind of talk as friends to see what their needs are. Then you show them a vehicle. Then you demonstrate that vehicle. When I say demonstrate, you do the 4-point walk around. All you old car salesmen will know exactly what I'm talking about. Under the hood, left side, trunk, right side. There's 4 sides of a car. So you make sure that you're not thinking about how much you're going to make on the sale of that vehicle. You're thinking about providing a service and a product that all of us need and giving them a great product at a fair price. One that's fair for you and one that's fair for them. And a lot of times I, would try to make it more fair for them. It made me feel good. I sold more cars that way. So after they say yes, you're still not thinking about the money. You want to make sure that car's all clean, polished up. everything's done right to it. And then you want to make sure before you get your paycheck on that car, you call them up. It's called a follow-up call. Is everything okay with the car? You guys loving it? Is it meeting your needs? I mean, let me know if you need anything at all. And I always gave all my customers my cell phone. I didn't give a shit. All right. Other guys would be like, I don't want to be bothered if I'm not here. Well, I had one guy actually call me at midnight. I was selling brand new Subarus, which is probably one of the greatest all-around cars in the whole world. So I told the guy, I wrote my cell phone number on my business card after he bought the car, and I said, look, man, if you ever need anything, you can call me 24/7. He says, I can call you in the middle of the night? Yeah, if I'm up, I'll answer the phone. My cell phone rings about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I get up and I answered it, and he says, hey, this is so-and-so. I got a problem with my Subaru. Remember me? Yeah, I remember you. What's the problem? He's like, I got the key in the ignition and it won't turn. Yeah, I can't turn the key. I can't start the car and I gotta get home. I got an emergency at home. I work the midnight shift. I gotta leave early. There's a problem. I said, okay, that's no problem. There's nothing wrong with your car. I said, you pulled in and you left the wheel cocked a little bit. So I said, what I want you to do, take the wheel all the way, pull it all the way to the left, try to start the car. It's like, no, it's not working. I says, okay, pull the wheel all the way to the right as far as you can, try to start the car. I hear the engine start. He's like, you did it. He said, oh my God, thank the Lord that you answered the phone at 2 in the morning. That's customer service, man. And I'll tell you what, if you want to have a successful business, you better have customer service. Very good customer service, which is not really that great in today's world. The guy was thanking me up and down, What he had done is he pulled in real quick, shut the car off, and then the wheel kind of cocked back and locked into place. I'm sure you've all had that happen, and then your key won't start it up till you move the wheel one way or the other a little bit. So business is not entirely built. A successful business is not entirely built upon the money. The money, you have a good product, you create a market, or if the market's already there, you provide that service or that product. You have great customer service. You have a great product. The money will just show up, man. I used to tell all my salespeople that. Don't worry about the money. You take care of the customers and the money will show up on its own. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. I just had to put this video out. Those of you in customer service and sales will fully understand what I'm talking about. Anyways, over and out. Happy pipe smoking, pipe smokers.